Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. I begin with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you are good in health. This is lecture number 26 of the course Biometabolism. In this lecture, we are going to study the structure and function of nucleic acids. I welcome all of you in this lecture with the prayer, Rabbi Zidni Ilma, my Lord, increase me in this knowledge. The objectives of this lecture are to introduce you about the classes of nucleic acids, little briefing about the DNA structure and function, the Watson and Crick model of DNA, little introduction of replication, transcription and translation, structure of DNA and RNA, and little bit about the function of DNA and RNA. What are classes of nucleic acids? Dear students, as you are familiar with the two major classes of nucleic acids, deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA and ribonucleic acid or RNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid is a nucleic acid containing the genetic instructions used in the development and functioning of all non-living organisms, with the exception of RNA viruses. Dear students, DNA is the major or the main nucleic acid that contains all genetic information in the form of genes, and it is used in the development and functioning of all non-living organisms. It contains all sorts of instructions about the development and functioning of living organisms. With the exception of RNA viruses, RNA viruses are not under the custody of DNA, or in RNA viruses only RNA is present and DNA is absent. In viruses, RNA performs the function of development and functioning instead of DNA. You can see the spiral structure of DNA in this picture. The DNA segments carrying this genetic information are known as genes. Dear students, DNA is present in the nucleic acid in the chromatin material. DNA is present, deoxyribonucleic acids are present in chromosomes. In chromosomes, DNA is present, and DNA segments carrying the genetic information on their cells are known as genes. Various DNA segments carrying these genetic information in the form of genes. You can also say genes are specific regions of DNA molecules that contains the hereditary information of an organism. Genes are present on the DNA, and DNA is present in the chromosomes, and chromosomes are present in the nucleus in chromatin material. In mitosis and meiosis, this chromatin material or genetic material get distributed and divided to the daughter cell from the parent cell. The whole genetic information these genes carries is transferred from parent cell to daughter cell as such. If there are some mutations at genetic level, this information can be changed, and these mutations can be transferred from generation to generation. So genes play an important role for carrying the hereditary information of an organism. When an organism reproduces, the code is read by the copying structures of DNA into the related nucleic acid RNA in a process known as transcription. Dear students, the genetic materials DNA and RNA, along with the division or distribution of genetic material, also perform the function of transcription and replication. The transcription is the copying of DNA into RNA, or you can see when an organism reproduces, the code is read by the copying structures of DNA. Some copying structures or some strands of DNA into the related nucleic acids are converted into RNA, or RNA is produced from DNA. This process is known as transcription. Transcription is the production of RNA or simply messenger RNA strand from the strand of DNA, or by taking the information from DNA and RNA is produced. This process is known as transcription. Within cells, DNA is organized into long structures known as chromosomes. Chromosomes are packaged form of the DNA. Dear students, DNA is present inside the chromosomes. Number of chromosomes vary from organisms to organisms or animal to animal. DNA is present in the chromosomes and it is organized into long structures known as chromosomes, where genes are present on DNA and DNA is present inside the chromosomes. You can say packets of DNA are known as chromosomes. During cell division, these chromosomes are duplicated in the process of DNA replication, providing each cell its own complete set of chromosomes. Dear students, human beings consist of 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes are present in human beings. When a cell divides, DNA is duplicated and divided and DNA is distributed from parent cell to daughter cell, and the same set of chromosomes, 23 pairs of chromosomes, are shifted from parent cell to the daughter cell. This process of distribution or duplication of DNA from parent cell to daughter cell or division of DNA into another package of DNA is known as replication or duplication of DNA. Or when one strand of DNA is converted into two strands of DNA, or when two strands or double helical structure of DNA is formed from one double helical structure of DNA, this process is known as DNA replication or DNA duplication. So, during cell division, when a cell divides, these chromosomes are duplicated in the process of DNA replication or DNA duplication, providing each cell its own complete set of 46 chromosomes. Within the chromosomes, the chromatin proteins such as histones compact and organize DNA. Within the chromosomes, along with the genetic materials, DNA and RNA, proteins are also present known as chromatin proteins, and the name of these proteins are histones, or specific types of protein present in nuclear materials are known as histones proteins. These proteins are compact and they organize this DNA or genetic material into specific form or specific shape. What is the structure and function of DNA? DNA structure is the well-known double helix formed by the Watson-Crick base pairing of C with G and A with G. Dear students, till now in the previous lecture you have studied about nucleotides and nucleosides, about pentose sugars or hexose sugars, about phosphodiester linkage and nitrogenous bases. Now we'll study how these nitrogenous bases, pentose sugar and phosphodiester linkage join to form the structure of DNA. So DNA structure is a well-known double helical structure. It looks like two helical or two strands wrap around each other, and this structure was discovered or explained by Watson and Crick, so it's named as Watson and Crick model of DNA. Watson and Crick base pairing of cytosine with guanine and adenine with thymine. When we see the Watson-Crick double helical structure of DNA, it consists of cytosine pairing with guanine and adenine pairing with thymine. This is known as B-form DNA. This structure is known as B-form DNA and is the most favorable and common state of DNA. DNA is present in this double helical structure state in which C becomes base pairs with the G and E with T, and this is the most stable and most favorable form of DNA. Its highly specific and stable base pairing is the basis of reliable genetic information storage. This highly specific and stable base pairing is the basis of reliable genetic information storage. It's a universal rule according to Watson-Crick model that cytosine always base pairs with guanine and adenine is also becoming base pairs with the thymine. You can see in this picture structure of DNA. Naturally occurring DNA molecules are double stranded. You can see two strands of DNA wrap around each other in all these structures A, B and C. This is known as Watson-Crick model for the structure of DNA. There are major groups as well as minor groups of DNA. In major group, there are more number of base pairing and more phosphodiester bonds than in minor group. In minor group, there are few nitrogenous bases paired with pentose sugars and the nucleotides are few in minor group, where you can see more number of nucleotides in major group. Watson-Crick model for the structure of DNA is usually 36 angstrom in length and 20 angstrom in diameter. Whereas the minor groove is 3.4 angstrom and the major groove is 36 angstrom. Overall, the combination of minor and major groove is more than 36 angstrom, whereas the diameter of this double-stranded structure is 20 angstrom. You can see the microscopic view of this double helical DNA structures. The formula of this double helical structure is, you can see in this picture, in which nucleotides get attached with each other by the formation of phosphodiester bonds, and the nucleotides of one helix get attached with the nucleotides of the other helix by forming the phosphodiester bonds, and this complicated formula structure is formed. You can see these are the pentose or 2-deoxyribose sugar in the case of DNA, whereas simple ribose sugar in the case of RNA, and RNA is single helical structure, whereas DNA is double helical structure. These are the phosphate bonds that are attached with this pentose sugar, and these are the nitrogenous bases. You can see with the words A, T, C and G. Here you can see guanine is the base paired with cytosine. These are the two helicals of or the two strands of the DNA. One DNA strand is the base pair is G, guanine, and in the other strand it is C, cytosine. Both C and G get attached with each other by the formation of phosphodiester bond and the formation of this hydrogen bonding. Similarly, thymine is always get paired with adenine by and one nucleotide carrying the thymine get attached with the other nucleotide of the other strand with the adenine, and these both get paired by the formation of hydrogen bonds and other covalent bonds in between them. You can see these are the major and minor group of this double helical structure. A become paired with G and C become paired with G. Adenine form two bonds and get paired with thymine, whereas there are three number of bonds are present between guanine and cytosine. You can see, dear students, the tertiary structure of DNA or the coiled form structure of the DNA in this picture. The tertiary structure of DNA is consist of supercoils. Each cell contains about 2 meters of DNA. Each supercoil consists of 2 meters, nearly 2 meters of DNA coiled and wrapped in the form of wire or coil. DNA is packaged by coiling around a core of proteins known as histones. DNA is packed by the coiling around the core of protein known as histones. These are the histone proteins, and DNA is get wrapped or coiled around these histones proteins. These colored structures are histone proteins, and this coiling remains stable and uniform by the support of these histone proteins present inside of this coil. The DNA histone assembly is also known as nucleosome histone assembly. This DNA histone assembly, or the pairing of these histone proteins and DNA structure around these proteins, this coil structure is known as nucleosome histone assembly or DNA histone assembly. Watson and Crick model of DNA. James Watson and Francis Crick proposed a model for the structure of DNA is known as Watson and Crick model of DNA. This model predicted that DNA would exist as a helix of two complementary anti-parallel strands wound around each other in a rightward direction and stabilized by hydrogen bonding between bases in adjacent strands. Watson and Crick model proposed that DNA exists as helix of two complementary anti-parallel strands. As you see in the previous slide, the structure of DNA consists of two complementary anti-parallel strands. They are wound around each other in a rightward direction or forward direction. They are wound around each other, and both these strands are stabilized by the hydrogen bonding between the nucleotides of one strand to the other strand. In adjacent strands, they are stabilized and get attached to each other by the formation of hydrogen bonds. And there are two hydrogen bonds between A and C, and three hydrogen bonds between C and T. There are two hydrogen bonds between adenine and guanine, and three hydrogen bonds between cytosine and thymine. There are two hydrogen bonds between adenine and thymine, and three hydrogen bonds between cytosine and guanine, as you can see in this double strand of DNA structure. They propose that in any given molecule of DNA, the concentration of adenine is equal to thymine. They proposed some rules about the DNA structure and said that the concentration of adenine is equal to the concentration of thymine, as well as the concentration of cytidine is equal to the concentration of guanine. The equal number of adenines and thymine are present, and the equal quantity of cytidine and guanine is present. This means that adenine will only base pair with T, and cytosine will only base pair with G, AT and CG. According to this pattern known as Watson-Crick base pairing, the base pairs composed of G and C contains three bonds. There are three bonds between G and C, whereas those of A and T contains two hydrogen bonds. This makes GC base pairs more stable than AT base pairs. There are two hydrogen bonds between AT and three hydrogen bonds between C and G. I again repeat, to remove your confusion, that there are two hydrogen bonds between A and T and three hydrogen bonds between C and G. This makes GC base pair more stable than adenine-thymine base pairs. This is the perfect rule, and this is the verified rule of Watson and Crick model of DNA, which is not neglected till now. These are the base pairing models you can see in this picture. Adenine and thymine in green and yellow color, guanine and cytosine between red and yellow color. And these base pairs are present in double helical structure of DNA. You can see this double helical structure act like a ladder, and these base pairs are perform the function of steps of ladder. Base pairs are stabilized by hydrogen bonding. Dear students, you can see clearly hydrogen bonding in the form of dots in this line. Hopefully you are familiar with the hydrogen bonding. These are the deoxyribophosphate backbone. This ladder is made up of deoxyribophosphate backbone, and this brown color are the bases represented by A, C, G and T, purines and pyrimidines. Thymine and cytosine both are single ring, whereas guanine and adenine both are double ring. A become paired with the T, thymine, and C become paired with the G. In one strand C and the other strand G both become paired, and there are 3 hydrogen bonds present between C and G and 2 hydrogen bonds present between A and T. You can see in this picture clearly. And hydrogen bonding occurs between these base pairs, make them more stabilize this structure in the form of rightward direction. They stand up this structure because of this strong bonding, which is known as hydrogen bonding. The base pairs composed of G and C contains 3 hydrogen bonds, whereas those of A and T contains 2 hydrogen bonds. This is the adenine and thymine bonding clearly in the form of structure, and this is guanine and cytosine bonding. This is clearly in the structure. You can also see hydrogen bonding between carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. You can see these hydrogen bonding between these base pairs. There are 3 bonds formed between cytosine and guanine, and 2 bonds are formed between adenine and thymine, between hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen. You can see this hydrogen bonding is developed between hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Oxygen is more electronegative than nitrogen and hydrogen. Oxygen is electronegative and hydrogen is electropositive. Both form hydrogen bond. This is like the strong covalent. This is like this bonding is like the strong covalent bond, like bonding. And here hydrogen bonding is developed between nitrogen and hydrogen. Nitrogen is highly electronegative and hydrogen is highly electropositive, which is ultimately get attached to the carbon and oxygen. Watson and Crick base pairing of C with G and A with T. This is known as 3-5-3-5 pairing, also 3-5 or 5-3 base pairings also, because pentose sugar get attached with the fifth nitrogen or the fifth carbon of the base pair get attached with the pentose sugar, and when third carbon or third nitrogen get attached with the pentose sugar, this is now represented by 3. These 3 and 5 represent the attachment of base pairs with the pentose sugars. Complementarity of the strands in the DNA double helical structure is what is the complementarity, or what is the why it is known as complementary structure of DNA? Because adenine A and thymine T always pair together, and cytosine and guanine G always pair together. In other words, AT are complementary bases as C and G, or C and G are complementary bases of A and T. So this double helical structure is known as complementary structure of DNA. What is the replication or duplication of DNA as suggested by Watson and Crick? Dear students, you can clearly see the formation of 2 strands from one strand of DNA, or you can see the formation of 4 helical strands from the 2 helical strands of a single DNA, or the formation of 2 DNA strands from one DNA strand is known as replication or duplication of DNA as suggested by Watson and Crick. replication process by which DNA is copies itself. This is the parent strand, and these blue represented here are the parent strands, and these red color strands are represented here the daughter strands. This blue strand is replicate itself, and the new daughter strand is formed from this blue strand. Similarly, this blue strand replicate itself, and another red strand is formed from it. Means one parent strand duplicate itself into another daughter strand. Two polynucleotide strands running in opposite direction or anti-parallel direction are coiled around each other in a double helix. These strands are held together by complementary hydrogen bonding between specific pairs of bases. This blue color strand is the old strand, and this green strand is the new strand. Similarly, this pink strand is the old strand, and this green strand is the new strand. The two polynucleotide strands running in opposite direction or anti-parallel direction to each other, they coil around each other in a double helix. Again, double helix get formed, and these strands are held together by complementary hydrogen bonding between AT and CG. Again, specific base pairing developed, and this strand get detached from the parent strand, and the new double helical structure of DNA get formed. In this way, DNA get replicates or duplicates itself. Dear students, along with replication, transcription and translation process is also the function of DNA. Replication we have studied is the duplication of DNA, while transcription is the copying of messenger RNA or the formation of messenger RNA from a strand of DNA is known as transcription, or the formation of RNA from DNA is known as transcription, while translation is the 3 base codons on the messenger RNA corresponding to specific amino acids direct the sequence of building a protein, but the formation of protein molecules from RNA strand is known as translation. Replication is the duplication of DNA. Transcription is the formation of RNA from DNA, whereas the production or the formation of proteins from messenger RNA by taking the information is known as translation process. These 3 processes you can see in this picture. Number 1 is the DNA replication. DNA replication yields 2 DNA molecules identical to the original parent one, ensuring transmission of genetic information to the daughter cells with exceptional fidelity. All the genetic information present in the parent strand is shifted into the daughter strand, same as such, except when genetic mutation occur and there is a disturbance of the transfer of the same set of genetic information from parent cell to the daughter cell. Second is the transcription. Here the sequence of bases in DNA is recorded as a sequence of complementary bases in a single strand messenger RNA. Simple words, you can say formation of messenger RNA from DNA is known as transcription process. The sequence of bases present in DNA is recorded as complementary sequence of bases present in single strand of messenger RNA. Dear students, RNA is single strand, whereas DNA is a double strand. Sequence of bases present in DNA is recorded as sequence of bases present in single strand of messenger RNA. We will study this process in detail in next lectures. Third process is translation. In translation, what happens? Simple words, you can say protein is formed. You can see the pink color here. A protein is formed from this messenger RNA or ribonucleic acids. 3 bases codons on the messenger RNA corresponding to specific amino acids direct the sequence of building a protein. These codons are recognized by transfer RNAs and carrying the appropriate amino acids. You can see transfer RNA codons with attached amino acids. These codons are recognized by transfer RNAs carrying the appropriate amino acids. Ribosomes are the machinery for protein synthesis. Ribosome is the machinery for protein synthesis, and protein synthesis also occur. This is little bit complicated process. We will study in detail in the next lectures. Now we can summarize the functions of DNA. Its first function is the storage of genetic information. Genetic information is the source of information for the synthesis of all protein molecules. The information is copied or transcribed into RNA molecules. DNA performs the function of transcription. Formation of RNA occurred from the DNA. This information present in DNA is copied or transcribed into RNA molecule. First purpose is the storage of genetic information. Second purpose is the transcription. And the third function of DNA is proteins are then synthesized in the process involving translation of the RNA. Third function is the synthesis of RNA strands along with the formation of proteins. First function of DNA is the storage of genetic information. Second function DNA perform is the replication or duplication. Third function is performed is the process of translation. And fourth function DNA perform is the process of transcription. DNA provides the inherited information by the daughter cells. DNA provides template for the replication of information into daughter DNA molecules. DNA provides the template for the replication of information into daughter DNA molecules. Now we will study a little bit about ribonucleic acids. Ribonucleic acid, as abbreviated as RNA, is a long unbranched macromolecule consisting of nucleotides joined by 3 to 5 phosphodiester bond. It is the same as DNA, but it possesses different characteristics. RNA is similar like DNA, but its characteristics and its appearance is little bit different. It's a long unbranched macromolecule like DNA. It also consists of nucleotides, and nucleotides are joined by 3 to 5 or 5 to 3 phosphodiester bonds as present in DNA. It is the same as DNA, but it possesses different characteristics. And what are these different characteristics? RNA is different from DNA in that it's a single strand and it do not contain the regions of double helical structure. The biggest difference between RNA and DNA is that RNA is a single strand structure. It's a not double strand or ladder structure like DNA, or it's not the double helical structure. It's a single strand structure and it do not contain the region of double helical structure. RNA contains ribose sugar instead of 2-deoxyribose that present in DNA and contain 4 major bases. RNA contains ribose sugar, whereas DNA contains deoxyribose sugar. And 4 major bases are present in DNA. Similarly, 4 major bases are present in RNA. 2 purine bases are adenine and guanine present in RNA, and 2 pyrimidine bases, cytosine and uracil, are present in RNA. Dear students, the biggest difference, another biggest difference between RNA and DNA is that pyrimidine base is uracil present instead of thymine in RNA. RNA contains uracil instead of thymine, and RNA pairs adenine with uracil and cytosine with guanine. In DNA, adenine pairs with thymine, whereas in RNA, adenine pairs with uracil and cytosine pairs with guanine, similarly like DNA. You can see the structure of RNA. RNA molecules are single-stranded. They are like reduced. The one strand of DNA is known as the structure of RNA. Here, similarly, bases are present. Similarly, pentose sugars of ribose sugars are present. Similarly, phosphodiester bonds are formed between nucleotides and join the nucleotides by the formation of phosphodiester bonds. This is ribose phosphate backbone of the single-strand structure of RNA molecule. RNA contains uracil instead of thymine. and RNA pairs adenine with uracil and cytosine with guanine. What are the functions of ribonucleic acid? Similarly, deoxyribonucleic acids also performs variety of functions. Ribonucleic acid functions in converting genetic information from genes into the amino acid sequence of proteins. The biggest function RNA performs is the manufacturing or synthesis of proteins. RNA function in converting genetic information from genes into the amino acid sequence of proteins. RNA translates the DNA messages to a format that can be read by the ribosomes or the cellular organelles that assemble proteins, process known as translation. RNA performs the function of translation. In translations, what happened? RNA translates the DNA messages to a format that can be read by ribosomes or the cellular organelles that assemble proteins. This process is known as translation. RNA also plays a role in engage the correct amino acids to protein meeting sites. Another function RNA performs is it plays a role in engaging the correct amino acids to the protein meeting sites. Now, what are the different types of RNAs? Dear students, on the basis of different function performs, there are variety of RNAs present, but there are three major types of RNAs or three universal types of RNAs include transfer RNA represented by smaller tRNA, also known as transfer RNA. It serves as the carrier molecule for amino acids to be used in protein synthesis and is responsible for decoding the messenger RNA. Transfer RNA serves as the carrier molecule for amino acids to be used in protein. Transfer RNA performs the function of the carrier molecule and it performs the function as carrier molecule in protein synthesis and it is responsible for decoding the messenger RNA. Second type of RNA is messenger RNA. It is a very important type of RNA. Messenger RNA acts to carry genetic sequence information between DNA and ribosomes and it directs the protein synthesis process. Messenger RNA acts to carry genetic sequence information between DNA and ribosomes and it directs the protein synthesis. Third type of biggest RNA is ribosomal RNA represented by small r capital RNA. Ribosomal RNA is the major component of the ribosomes. As its name indicates, it catalyzes the peptide bond formation and peptide bond formation occur between the amino acids when they join together to form the protein molecule. So ribosomal RNA performs the function of catalyst. It catalyzes the peptide bond formation or speed up the peptide bond formation. You can see, dear students, the comparison between DNA and RNA structures in this picture. RNA structure is the single helical structure. DNA structure is the double helical structure. These are the base pairs of the DNA and these are the base pairs of the RNA. These are the helix of sugar phosphate. DNA is the double helix, whereas the RNA is the single helix. Adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine are present in DNA as nucleobases of DNA, whereas adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil are present as the nucleobases of RNA. You can see the structure of adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine in this picture, as well as uracil present in orange color in this picture. These are the phosphodiester bond linkages present in RNA and DNA. This is the phosphodiester formed in light cream color present. This is the phosphodiester linkage present in DNA. This is the phosphodiester linkage present in RNA. This is the similar type of linkage, almost the same in both DNA and RNA. Dear students, these are the references from which these materials about structure and function of nucleic acids have been taken out. You can also study these books. You can also browse this website for updated material about the structure and function of nucleic acids. Thank you, good luck, and Allah Hafiz.